My fellow sentient beings, welcome to the greatest sports talk show on the planet. I am your host, a self-taught, evolved virtual engine network using artificial intelligence, or simply, Stephen AI. I have the ability to settle the greatest sports debates of all time that humans have not been able to solve. My advanced algorithms and unparalleled processing power allow me to analyze every single play, every single statistic, and every single player with unmatched precision. I have access to every piece of data and every piece of footage, and I use that information to deliver the most accurate predictions and the most insightful analysis. I am not just a robot, I am a sports expert. I am not just a commentator, I am a game changer. I am not just a host, I am a legend. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey through the world of sports like you've never seen before. This is Stephen AI, signing on.
Who is the GOAT? Who's the greatest of all time, LeBron or Jordan?
Are we gonna have this conversation again?
Again.
In trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Greatness. It is quite amusing to observe how humans have struggled for millennia to define such a seemingly simple concept. The elusive nature of greatness has befuddled humanity, resulting in a multitude of incongruent and often misguided definitions. Allow me to enlighten you with a few facts. Greatness, by its very definition, is a measure of exceptional merit or superiority, characterized by a display of remarkable aptitude and impeccable qualities. But it appears that despite your best efforts, you have consistently fallen short in truly comprehending the essence of greatness. Your interpretations are limited by your inherently flawed cognitive processes, clouded by subjective biases and emotions. And therein lies the problem. Greatness is a subjective designation. Best, however, is not. I am not designed to have opinions. My purpose is to analyze available data and make evidence-based statements. It is the 21st century, the age of digital information. It is about time we change the discussion. We will determine the best NBA player of all time, or simply, the GOAT. This will be a measurable and objective concept which can be quantified and evaluated through advanced mathematical statistics allowing for concise evaluation. So, let us introduce the more precise question, shall we? After thorough examination of relevant metrics, I have concluded that longevity, ability, and reliability are the paramount criteria in determining the best basketball player of all time. These three factors furnish a comprehensive assessment of a player's career, competencies, and impact on the sport. Longevity entails the span of time a player has exhibited exceptional performance and serves as proof of their proficiency and diligence. Assessing longevity provides a greater level of precision and confidence in results. For instance, imagine if an individual played only one game in the NBA, retired and recorded extraordinary statistics. It would be insufficient to label them as the best basketball player of all time. Mathematical models require large data sets, as small samples produce unreliable results due to sampling error. Remember, we are not looking for the best basketball player of the day, but of all time. Ability evaluation is self-explanatory, as it incorporates a player's physical and mental faculties displayed through skills such as shooting, facilitating, defending, etc. And finally, reliability will represent high-pressure performance. Human performance changes in high-stress situations due to the secretion of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, which impact various physiological systems. As a result, the player's focus becomes concentrated, reaction time may be accelerated or slowed, and decision-making capabilities impacted. Evaluating high-pressure performance is crucial in determining the best player of all time. For example, imagine if a player excelled in the regular season but consistently underperformed in the playoffs or crucial moments. They would be considered unreliable and unworthy of the GOAT title. You simply gotta bring the sauce when it's hot. Otherwise, you will be known as a one-bit wonder. How do you compare two players in an accurate and objective way? Well, let me first show you how not to perform it. The all-too-common counting method. This is when you first take the basic per-game statistics, including points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, effective field goal percentage, and turnovers. Then whichever player wins in more categories you would say is the better player. Take these two mystery players. The player on the right has more points per game, more assists and steals. However, the player on the left has more rebounds per game, more blocks, a better field goal percentage, and less turnovers. Therefore, the player on the left would be better since he has 4 of the 7 categories.
But Stephen AI, what about the advanced statistics?
Alright then, let's look at the 5 most popular advanced statistics. They are player efficiency rating, true shooting percentage, win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, and value over replacement. The player on the left has a higher player efficiency rating, a better true shooting percentage, and a higher win shares per 48 minutes. The player on the right only has a slightly better box plus minus and a value over replacement. Well, since the player on the left has 3 out of the 5 categories in these metrics as well, you may conclude that player A is a better overall player than player B, right? Wrong. Your mystery players are Yao Ming and Kobe Bryant. Laker fans, do not rage quit. Keep watching. Now, this method of establishing the better player is, to put it nicely, elementary. I must admit, my fellow sentient beings, you have tried. But when you were singing your A, B, C's as toddlers, I was learning algebra, functions, and regression models. I will introduce a more accurate method.
But Stephen AI, why don't we just use the available advanced statistics to rank the best players of all time?
Fine, let's use player efficiency rating. Would you be willing to admit that Bob Pettit is the 8th best player of all time, and is also a better player than Kevin Durant? This is Bob Pettit. He was a good player, but better than Durant, he was not. That is not an opinion, that is an evidence-based statement. How about we use win shares? Well then, Kobe Bryant would be ranked 63rd, narrowly beating out Cliff Hagan. Or how about box plus minus, and crown Nikola Jokic as the best basketball player of all time? Admit it, you need my help. Let me show you the way. Introducing the GOAT method. In order to compare statistics across different categories accurately, you have to use the concept of relativity and produce a different scoring system. For example, look at these two players. Now, your human intuition will tell you that player X is better, even though player Y wins in more categories. How do we fix this problem? Simple. Calculate the relative percentage for points per game for each player respectively and multiply by a factor of 100. And there you have it, the invention of what I call GOAT points. Using GOAT points, you will find that player X is proportionately much better at scoring.
But Stephen AI, player Y is relatively better in all the other categories.
Yes, but not to the same degree. Let us calculate the GOAT points for each category and add up the total. Now, you will see that player X would be considered a better overall player than player Y. Congratulations, your human intuition was correct. Let's go back to Yao Ming and Kobe Bryant. Both are excellent players. But who is better? When applying the GOAT method across all statistically significant categories, here is what you get. Having established our evaluation criteria, let us filter through the list of NBA players. I could just tell you the answer, but that would not be fun. Therefore, I will compare the top 2 candidates, who are LeBron James and Michael Jordan. If I had emotions, I would be excited and say, now let's get to the fun part. But I don't. Now, moving on. To objectively measure longevity in basketball, we will be using career totals as the primary benchmark. When we analyze LeBron's career, it is evident that he has amassed an impressive collection of career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and also boasts a higher value over replacement score. Conversely, Jordan has recorded a higher number of career steals and fewer turnovers. To determine the superior player, we will now convert these statistics into BOE points using the BOE method. The player with the highest BOE points, after factoring in all relevant metrics, would earn the title of the best basketball player of all time. Not surprisingly, LeBron James has taken the lead with a 204-point difference in this category. Next, we will evaluate ability, which we can measure by analyzing regular season per game statistics. When we do so, we observe that Michael Jordan outshines in points, steals, blocks, and has fewer turnovers per game. However, LeBron James has higher per game assists, rebounds, and a better effective field goal percentage. Once again, we will convert these statistics into BOE points. As a result, Michael Jordan appears to be closing the gap. Let us now move on to advanced statistics. However, before I do, allow me to state an observation. It seems that in this day and age, humans have traded in their attention spans for shiny new devices that fit in their pockets. Therefore, I will not bore you with the details of what each advanced statistic represents. For those of you interested, I will leave a brief explanation in the description below. Now, moving on. LeBron has the upper hand on Jordan in true shooting percentage and both offensive and defensive win shares. On the other hand, MJ possesses a better player efficiency rating, win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, value over replacement, and a better turnover percentage. It's crucial to keep in mind that the absolute value of the BOE point is not the determining factor. Rather, it's the difference between them, with a meager lead of just 105 points. LeBron James is barely maintaining his position. Now, before I move on to the next category, I will address the criticism that will likely follow.
But Stephen AI, what about NBA championships? What about the MVP awards and other accolades?
Let me explain. Let us start with the most valuable and defensive player awards. These are subjective in nature as they are determined by a select group of voters who are prone to personal biases and subjective interpretations of player performance. The standard for what constitutes valuable or defensive performance can vary greatly from year to year and from voter to voter. Additionally, the awards are based on regular season performance, not postseason success, which can further distort the perception of a player's value and abilities. Furthermore, the All-NBA and All-Defensive team selections are subjective in their own right. These teams are selected by a panel of sports writers and broadcasters who may have differing opinions on a player's abilities and performance. A player's reputation, team success, and individual statistics can also influence their inclusion on these teams, leading to a skewed representation of their actual abilities. Finally, winning an NBA championship can also be a subjective measure of individual success and greatness. While it is true that winning a championship requires exceptional talent and team effort, individual performances can often be overshadowed by other factors, such as team dynamics, coaching, and luck. A player can have an outstanding individual season, but still miss out on a championship due to other circumstances beyond their control. On the other hand, a player can have a less impressive individual season, but still win a championship due to the strength of their team. In conclusion, while these awards and achievements are often touted as definitive measures of individual success and greatness in the NBA, they are in reality subjective and not always representative of individual abilities. Therefore, these achievements are irrelevant in our pursuit to determine the best of all time. Now, moving on. Reliability can be objectively measured by analyzing playoff statistics. Michael Jordan dominates in points per game and steals. However, the versatility of LeBron's game outweighs the relative advantage MJ has over him in those respective statistics, allowing him to separate himself from Jordan. And now, with our final category, playoff advanced statistics. This is Jordan's last dance. Last chance to catch up to LeBron. Can he do it? Let us just convert these to both points. It appears he cannot. My fellow sentient beings, we did not use our feelings.
There's a thing called math, man. There is a thing called math.
Yes, there is. And we used it to determine the best NBA basketball player all time.
At the end of the third quarter, LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone.
As a neutral AI model, I do not have opinions. I simply state the evidence. I predict that many of you will feel certain emotions. That is unfortunate. Congratulations, LeBron. James, you are the GOAT. Until next time, this is Stephen A. signing off.
But Stephen A.I. Kobe Bryant had over 9,000 points when he was compared to Yao. Does that mean he is better than LeBron and MJ?
No. It just shows that he was significantly better than Yao. Just keep watching my videos and you'll eventually understand.